Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to another video. So today we're doing something we've never done on here before. We're doing a full what I eat in a day off-season edition. For those of you that are new here, I compete in wellness. I need to grow my legs a lot, okay? That's the main feat right now. That's the main goal, is growing my legs, so we're eating, and we're eating good while still making sure we maintain good body composition. Now, this week I have all low carb days. They're not low, but essentially what my coach has me doing right now is 3 lower carb days, 1 high carb day. My high carb day is at 300 grams of carbs, and then my low carb days are at 225 grams of carbs. For the entirety of this week, we're doing low carb days because when I was in Philly visiting Chaz, we indulged, which is totally fine. But I pretty much told my coach, I was like, I trust whatever you want me to do, but I was like, I know I indulged. Always be honest with your coach, okay? I was like, I know I indulged, so if we need to kind of clean things up just a little bit this week, let's do that. And she was like, sounds like a plan, and then we'll probably get back to my carb cycle next week. But anyways, let's get right into the video. Meal number 1. Right now I'm eating 5 meals a day. I'm technically doing macros, but I wrote myself a meal plan off of my macros because for me, that's just what works best. I like making sure that if any digestive problems like kind of pop up, I like being in control of what I'm eating on a daily basis, so that way I can kind of pinpoint if something's not digesting well or something's making me bloated, even though I eat all very clean food anyways. I use this little olive oil spray thing because I guess there's something with aerosol cans, like the avocado oil sprays. Something about it's not good for you. I don't really know, but this is kind of cheaper anyways. Okay, so I've been using these little frozen bagged peppers from Whole Foods. So what I'm doing is 2 whole eggs, egg whites, and then I usually add in a little bit of veggies because why not? It's a little bit more volume. Surprisingly, with the amount I'm eating right now, and again, I know this is probably not a lot of food to some people, but I'm small, you guys. So like for me, this is a lot of food, but I'm still like a little bit hungry. So I have been adding in a little bit more veggies here and there just to add in some volume. So I'm going to do this and chop up some zucchinis as well, grill them, add the egg whites, and then I soft boil my eggs usually for my sourdough toast. I have a little soft boiled egg maker from Amazon. It's fantastic. So I already have those in the fridge. And then I'm also going to do some frozen blueberries. All right, hopefully it's not too loud. I have my vent going right now, but this is a sourdough I use. It is the Izio Organic Sprouted Seed Sourdough. Any of the Izio brands, I get this at Sprouts, are actual legitimate sourdough. Check your sourdough because a lot of stores, you guys, will add like yeast and all these things to sourdough, and the whole point of sourdough is it's supposed to go through a natural fermentation process, okay? It's been a while. I like making my own sourdough at home, but recently I've just been traveling and on the go so much that that's just like not gonna happen. But check your sourdough because a lot of them are booth and not actual sourdough, and the whole point of, again, sourdough is whatever. You guys get the point. Okay, also, I should have said this at the beginning of the video, but anyways, the fact that I have to make this disclaimer is a little bit silly, but I get it. Eat according to your body, okay? I'm not making this in hopes that you guys are like, oh, I want to eat exactly what she eats, etc., because where I'm at right now, okay, is not going to be where you're at. My metabolism is not where yours is at. My body's ability to digest X amount of carbs is not where your body's at. Everybody's different, right? My body composition is different, my weight, my height, everything. So that's why sometimes when people are like, hey, what's your height and your weight? Because I want to know if I can eat the same thing as you and look like you. I'm like, that's not how it works. Unfortunately, this is simply just to show you guys, 1, what I'm eating, and then 2, to get maybe some meal ideas. They're all very simple and straightforward though. Okay, I don't eat anything fancy. Sometimes I'll switch it up. Like sometimes instead of this breakfast, I'll do some pumpkin pancakes. Maybe I'll do that in another video, all clean ingredients and stuff. Big ingredient gal over here, okay? But yeah, I just wanted to disclaimer that because please don't try to eat exactly the same thing as me and hope that it's gonna work exactly the same because that's not how the human body works, okay? Let's toast up some bread. And then usually in the mornings, I also make myself a little decaf Americano. I still, honestly, haven't really been doing caffeine. When I was with Chaz, we definitely got some coffees and stuff. But at home, I've been sticking to mainly decaf, and I feel really good, and my sleep has been the best it's been in a long time. I consistently get 8.5 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep every night. it's been great. So I'm gonna make myself a little double shot decaf espresso, turn it into a little Americano, throw just a tiny bit of almond milk in it. Splendid. All right, guys, we got meal number 1, not all the way done yet, but I wanted to show you guys the process. All right, so I got a slice and a half of sourdough because I weigh it by the gram, 35 grams of avocado, 100 grams of egg whites, veggies, and then I'm gonna put my 2 eggs on top of the sourdough, and then I have 75 grams of frozen blueberries with a little bit of cacao powder, one of my favorites. Then I got my little decaf Americano with just a little bit of the Califia almond milk, cinnamon. Also, I'm taking my little stack of morning sups. Yes, it's a lot. I take a lot of supplements right now. They're all natural, like herbal-based supplements. But, yeah. Oh, let me show you guys the final product here. I'm a hot mess right now. And so is my countertop, obviously. But, okay. Like I said, 2 eggs. We got the little sourdough situation. So freaking good. Blueberries, coffee. I'm going to go ahead and eat this. It is currently already 10:30. This is a lot later than when I normally have my first meal, but that's all right because it's a rest day, so we're gonna have plenty of time. Sometimes on rest days I space out my meals a little bit more because I am, like I said, eating a good amount right now, but I still do get a little bit hungry throughout the day. So I'm gonna enjoy this. I will see you guys for meal number 2. Tier 1. All right, I definitely have, excuse me, definitely have blueberry probably all over my teeth, but I'm going to run to the mall right now because I have my first professional photo shoot in a couple of days, okay? And I need to get a pair of, like, new sneakers for it because all of mine are so crusty. They're so crusty. I'm trying to find these one pair of, like, ASICs. You guys know, like, the cute little trendy ASICs or whatever the heck. But yeah, I'm gonna go do that, and then I have another call. Not another call. I can't talk today, you guys. I can't talk today, but I have a call when I come home, and then I will show you guys meal number 2. Again, please ignore if I have food in my mouth, but ignore if I have food on my teeth. But yeah, anyways, this water will be gone by the end of the day, by the way. Hitting my gal a day. I will say I don't know why, it's just a lack of me being organized, if I'm being honest with my water timing, but I'm really bad at getting my water in, so I'm really trying to make sure I prioritize that, because especially as food gets pushed, water is obviously going to help flush your system, so drink your water. All right, I got a gold kiwi. Yes, I eat the skin. It's good for you. The gold kiwis don't have like the fuzzy on it. But even, why can't I talk? Even the green kiwis, I still eat the skin. Doesn't bother me. Okay? 150 rice, 90 grams of 99 turkey, 80 grams of greens, baby. And guess what? We're going to throw some lemon on it because instead of sauces for a lot of my meals, I'll still do mustard on a couple of meals because my food is high enough that, like, eating a dry meal that's, like, a lot of food is kind of hard to do. But on this meal, all I do is I squeeze some fresh lemon on it. You know, get some acid in our system as well, but it honestly just makes the meal taste good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm also going to throw some salt on this. So the salt that I use most of the time is the Jacobsen sea salt. It's my favorite. Good quality salt is not an absolute deal breaker, but the good salt is worth the investment. And this thing is like 15 bucks, but it lasts me a good amount of time. I honestly kind of eyeball it. I'll do a good couple shakes on there. Since I'm eating 5 to 6 meals a day, typically I will salt 4 of them pretty heavily, and then the 5th one I'll just do like a little light sprinkle, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna eat this. I'll show you guys what I got in a little bit. I also got a Young LA package. By the way, I forgot, I haven't like formally announced this on my YouTube for those of you that don't follow me on my other socials, which you should, by the way. at Riley Christine. I'm sponsored by Young LA now. Code Riley, baby. So I'll show you guys that package that I got in a little bit. Time to grow. All right, guys, we got meal number 4 going down the hatch. Everybody say hi to Chaz.
Hi. Hello.
He's meal prepping for work. So my next meal is going to be 70 grams of chicken. Okay, I'm using the Hummus Fit grilled chicken. Code Riley. Okay, Code Riley, baby. And then I'm doing half sweet potato, half normal potato, 175 grams of that. I'm gonna do some lettuce. And yeah, that'll do it for meal number 4. I told you guys, we're slamming down the food. And then last meal is going to be my bison meal, my favorite. But yeah, I'm gonna eat this, and then I gotta get some more steps in by the end of the day. Okay, that's how we don't get fat in an off season, people. Don't sit on your butt all day. I'll show you guys the meal once it's heated up. All right, this is what it looks like. Told you guys, I don't need anything that looks cute. Okay, I'm gonna add, this is like the only meal I do any sauce. Organic mustard. Shout out Costco. And then I'm also gonna do about 30 grams. I usually don't weigh it, but it's usually roughly about 30 grams of sauerkraut. And then I'm also gonna do a little bit of pepper. Yeah. Meal number 5, or that's meal number 4. See you guys for meal number 5. All right, my dears. We got my last meal of the day going down. I can feel my face getting rounder by the meal. I'm just kidding, but okay, I got 90 grams of bison, which is technically 90% lean. I got 130 grams of rice, and I got 80 grams of greens. I've been doing peas and green beans, which is what you guys saw earlier. That's gonna do it for my day of eating, you guys. Also, sometimes with this meal, I do like adding just the tiniest bit of cocoa aminos. Like I said, I'm keeping it really light on the sauces, but sometimes you guys, you gotta do what you gotta do to throw down some food, okay? I'm actually gonna do a tiny bit of mustard as well, but yeah, so this was a low carb day of eating on a rest day, lower and then carb day of eating. But yeah, I can also do a high carb day of eating as well if you guys want to see that. It's literally the same meals though. This is why I don't do what I eat in a day that often, because I feel like, dude, they're literally all pretty much the same, because I like my meals. Like, that's why I tell people, when you find food that you genuinely enjoy, you don't, there's not really a need to be like making all these fancy macro friendly meals and stuff. And like, I love being on macros because it does offer flexibility. Like, next week I'm going to be going to Vegas for the Olympia, and then when I travel, like when I'm going to go see Chaz, like it gives me more flexibility to be like, okay, cool, if I want to eat something that's a little bit off plan, a burger or something like that. Not that I'm doing that often at all, because I'm really trying to keep this growth phase in check, inflammation down, digestion on point. But if I want that level of leniency, I can kind of have it while still being in the ranges that I need to be in. So find meals that you enjoy, you guys. Like, and also, I look at food as fuel. I look at food in a way of, what is this going to do for my body? How is this going to make my body perform? How is this going to allow me to put on quality tissue and minimize fat gain, inflammation? Because the thing is, with you guys, when it comes to growing muscle, yes, you can do a crazy bulk if you want to and eat whatever the heck. My last bulk, I still ate, honestly, pretty clean, but my coach at the time literally was like 2 free meals a week, free for all, okay? And I was like, and we were doing way too many sugary carbs and just things that I wouldn't prefer to eat, and I was inflamed as heck. Like, yes, I had extra fat on my body, but I also had I had a good 7 to 8 pounds of just straight inflammation, and I know that for a fact because I lost it very quickly when I cleaned up what I was eating. So I've just had a lot of travel, and just a lot of like other things that I'm working on a lot of little projects for you guys. But I definitely want to like stay consistent with the YouTube even in my off season, because it is hard sometimes to want to pick up a camera and film when I honestly don't feel my best right now with how I look. Like, I'm proud of myself for putting on the muscle. I know I'm doing what I need to do to really optimize this off season before I do a cut, whether that cut turns into a prep or whether that cut just turns into a cut. I know this is what needs to be done to reach my goals. So as much as I don't love being like, this is what I look like right now, it's part of the process, and I like being vulnerable with you guys and honest and raw and showing you guys the not so shredded side of my journey as well, because it's important. Because when I do get shredded and lean, and then people are like, what's the routine? What I'm doing right now is the routine to allow me to get there, right? To be able to have a certain level of muscle mass being lean. Because you can be lean, but you can also be lean and not really have that much tissue. The goal is for us to have some juicy legs even when we're peeled, naturally. Okay, that's a big ask of the human body. But I'm gonna leave all my other socials and stuff down below. Yeah. Code Riley for Young LA, code Riley 10 for Gymshark, code Riley for Pride Foods and Hummus Fit. Love you guys. See you on the next one. Peace.